Hi everybody, welcome back. Thanks for watching. I'm going to show you what I did with my first attempt at the collaboration piece with Nate Bright and Anna Blunt I did recently. This was the second attempt, this ribbon pour here, and I embellished it with my daffodils. It was spring themed ribbon pour. But I did another ribbon pour to start with, which I really liked, but just not for the daffodils. It wasn't going to work. So I showed the painting in this video. I'm now going to show you how I made it, and I'm going to show you what I did with it afterwards, because I have embellished it. I've used some more of this texture paste, but I've created a spring meadow and I love it. I'm so happy with it. So I'm going to show you how I did the pour, how I did the ribbon pour, and then also the embellishment afterwards. The colour scheme, I'm going to just include a picture in here of the colour scheme that I used. And this was the colour scheme that Nate Bright wanted us to use for this pour. So this is the colour scheme I've used for the pour you're about to see. So yeah, let me show you what happened. Here are the colours I'm going to use. So I've matched as closely as I can to that colour palette. And Earth Green by Pebeo is such a close match. If you add a little bit of white to it, I would say that colour is spot on. So I've got the full depth colour. I've added a bit of white, a bit more white, and then a bit more white still. So I've got one colour, but 4 shades of it. And then the blue, I've got a couple of blues that I'm using, some sky blue light and then some primary cyan. So here's the cyan, and here it is with a bit of white, and that one there is with a bit more white. This is the sky blue light, and that same colour but with a bit of white as well. So again, you've got a couple of darker blues but then some lighter variations. Now the purpley colour, I've included a mixture of these two. Oriental Violet, but it's a bit pinkier, so I've added some Quinacridone Rose Light. Also, this is a transparent colour, so I needed to add some opaque to it, and this is opaque. So mixing them together, I've come up with this colour, and I'm hoping it's going to be quite opaque, and then added some white, and then some more white, and then this is another colour again. It's a little bit of Oriental Violet but with a paler pink, and then I added some white. And then this is my new favourite ever yellow. It's Naples Yellow Deep, and it's so soft. It's such a sort of pastel-y yellow. So the darkest one is there at the back, and then I've added some white and then some white again. So the reason I've got the dark colours and then adding the light is just so that I can just have variations of just these 5 colours so it can look really tranquil. I'm going to layer up 3 cups. What I've decided to do is layer up just 1 cup for the sky colours and then 2 cups for the green. The reason, or my theory, is that I've got the other colours to mix in with the greens because I want them to look like flowers. So you've got if you imagine the green grass and then lots of little pinky purpley flowers and yellow flowers as well. I had thought about putting a little bit of yellow in the sky to make it look a little bit like sun, but my worry is that if the yellow and the blue mix, I'll get green, and I don't really want green in the sky. I could add some of the very pale, I guess, but I think it might be better to leave it as the blues. I've just added some much darker as well, some ultramarine blue, because I think that we've got 4 really quite pale colours. I want just a hint of darker as well, just to give the sky a bit more contrast. Now, the way I'm going to pour this into the cup is not down the side necessarily like I would normally do, but just pour it one on top of the other because I want a beautiful blend of these colours. So I think to layer up these 2 cups, I'm going to separate them. I've got the darker colours, which I'm going to put at the bottom for the foreground, and then the lighter colours will be in the middle. So this time, instead of pouring it just one on top of the other, I think I'm going to do it down the side because this time I would like them to be a bit more separate. canvas is a 30 by 40. Now I've got far too much paint here. That doesn't matter. If I've got way too much, I might even do a second one of these. Let's start. Where should we start? I want to have 1/3 blue, 2/3 the bottom, the greeny. Let's start with the sky. So ribbon pour. Make sure I go off over that edge. Always forget the edges. Right, that, do you think that's a third? Let's go a little bit further down. Wow, this is beautiful. Let's go for my light greens. Whoa, it's very yellow. Wow. I much prefer this bottom cup. So what I'm going to do is pour some of the bottom. I'm going to just graduate it up into this top panel. And to do that, oh, I'm not doing it very well at all. All I'm doing is doing much quicker movements. I've splodged it, which was a mistake, but it just helps to blend it. And then I will just help to bring the paler down into the dark as well. Just doing a very quick, thin line, just so it helps to blend in nicely, like that. Now, massive spot there. I didn't mean to do that at all. Right, I am pretty happy with this. Okay. Let's leave that. Let's just check these edges are covered. To tilt this, the edges are both covered. So all I need to do is tilt it one direction and then the other. I'm so happy with this. This has worked so well, so pleased. Let me show you the bottom to start with. So one worry I had was that it would muddy, and it has muddied very slightly. Can you see there? The green and the purpley colour are making a kind of dark colour, but that's fine, absolutely fine. And you might even think there's a little bit of brown in that line there. But that is it. Look at that beautiful bright yellow line through there. Some of the colours, the yellow is just separating slightly. This is my PVA glue and water mixture, and I still haven't quite got the consistency right. But for a painting like this, I think it looks pretty. I really like it. Now I've got a white fluffy bit there. But you've got to remember also, this is the base. So actually every single detail of this won't show, because this is the base for my my daffodil, the sky. Love the fact that I had enough paint just to complete that top bit, because now it looks like it's meant to be. I think the paint at the top had fallen off over the edge, so it was pulling that way. So I just needed to add more paint. So I'm so happy. So really excited for this to dry, and then I can start thinking about my daffodil. Right, now totally dry. I have to say, I think this might be one of my all-time favourite pieces that I've produced. Not necessarily because of the end result, but because of the sort of excitement I had when I was making it, and just the feeling of the creativity just evolving. Because you know, you have an idea, things change, and then you end up with something completely different. But how fun is that? That you can just, with art, you can just end up wherever you want to. As the artist, there are no rules. You can do whatever you like. So I am over the moon with how this has turned out. Right, let me show you exactly what I did. So you would have watched it time-lapsed. So the flowers, so to start with, I was just putting on some pale pink. I've then gone over the top with some dark pink. I wanted it to be quite choppy and not particularly neat. I wanted it to be a bit rugged, a bit rough looking. Because I just think that works well. It just makes it look a bit more natural. And around the bottom of every flower, I did this off camera, I painted on some darker green and a bit of pale green. I've made a thicker, darker stem from each of the flowers. I wanted the concept or the idea of having the yellow flowers near the bottom. They look a bit like buttercups. And then the pink flowers to be bigger and nearer the top of the meadow. To me, they look a bit like carnations. Well, maybe you would get a carnation in a meadow. I don't really know, but to me, they look a little bit like carnations, which are my favourite flower. And then what I think really finishes it off is around the top of every flower, I've just painted a little bit of pearl white. You can't see it that much, but it just helps to lift it. It somehow lifts it off the canvas. And obviously before I did the flowers, I used piping bag with a bit of texture paste, the modelling paste in it with the green in it, to create some of these lovely leaves. If I show you in the light, actually, you might be able to see that pearl white. Yes, I think you can. Because it's pearly, it's iridescent, so it's just got a little sparkle to it. And then the actual pour itself, just look how beautifully smooth that is. And you get a really smooth result if you use really liquid paints, really fluid paints. So I am so happy with this. I have thoroughly enjoyed making this piece. Please let me know what you think. I'm sure there's lots of things I could have done differently and I can improve on for next time. So let me know any ideas you've got, any thoughts, any comments. I'd love to hear anyone's suggestions of what to do or how to do things differently. Please hit the thumbs up button if you've liked it or if you've enjoyed watching the video. Great, take care. Bye.